As sports bettors, we have several options of where we can actually place our bets. But what comes as a surprise to a lot of people is that almost every single sportsbook operator on the planet will restrict or limit players that have won money off of them. On top of this, players that maybe haven't won yet or have even lost have been restricted because the sportsbook didn't like the pattern of the bets that they were making and thought that it may lead to profits for the player. So rather than the sportsbook looking at these players and using the information that's coming into their system as they're placing bets to adjust their lines and sharpen their sportsbook, they're kicking them out of their ecosystem entirely. Pinnacle Sportsbook does the exact opposite of this. Winning sports bettors are welcomed, and they're used as the backbone to shape the lines and formulate what's the most reputable and sharp sportsbook in the world. My name is Andrew Pace, and I've been kicked off over 500 different sportsbooks. But during that time, I've been able to make well into the 7 figures of profit. And what differentiates me from the majority of sharp sports bettors out there is that I've made 99.9% of all of my profit from live betting. In this series, I'm going to walk you through the advantages of live betting, including multiple strategies on how you can beat your sportsbook. More importantly, I'm going to show you some of the advantages of using Pinnacle and how it can be a cornerstone for your success. Let's dive in. I know I said that I was going to be talking about live betting, but before we get there, I want to touch on pregame. There are so many different ways that you can make money from betting on sports. And one of the ways that the sharp sports bettors and syndicates do this is by modeling and forecasting of the games themselves. Then based on the numbers that they generate, they compare those to what the sports books are offering to see if they have an edge or any theoretical value. They do this by looking at everything from home away splits, past performances, personnel matchups, injuries, weather, and much, much more. So this means that they need to have access to remarkable information because guess what? The sports books are doing this themselves when they are handicapping the games. If theoretical value is identified, it's then a race to the sportsbook to get money down before those lines change. And with any lines, whether it's a line that has value or not, public money and sharp money is coming in before that game starts on any given sporting event. And as the sportsbooks react to that money coming in, the lines do change. And the different discrepancies from one book to the next can create theoretical value. And this means in these moments, the sportsbooks are the ones that are vulnerable, not the players. While this and other pregame sports betting methods can be profitable, it's simply reserved for the people that have the absolute largest bankrolls and, like I said, access to the best information. And even with that, it's typical to see an edge of approximately 3 to 4%. Instead of doing all this forecasting and modeling before the game starts, I simply turn it on. And I want to ask you a question. Have you ever looked out the window and seen the sun shining with no rain falling when your weather app says it's currently raining right now? Much like a pregame sharp predicting the outcome of a game, weather apps predict the weather with a certain degree of accuracy, but due to chaos theory, not certainty. So much like opening up the weather app and seeing that it's raining when it's sunny out, I sometimes will flick on a game where an underdog is absolutely dismantling their opponent. This presents remarkable live betting opportunities. Because of this, I believe live betting to have significant advantages over pregame. The first is that we have higher volume. While a pregame sharp or pregame pro may be wagering on a handful of games in any given day or week, I may find a game where I'm able to get dozens of wagers down that have great value in just one game. On top of that, we have crazy line discrepancies when we're betting live. Pre-game, they can come and go really, really quickly and they tend to be really small, but the way the algorithms of different sportsbooks react to different scenarios as they're happening in real time present remarkable discrepancies. And when there are greater discrepancies, guess what? There are greater edges. I mentioned that 3 to 4% of a pregame pro earlier. It's not uncommon to find 2 to 3 times that edge. Yes, double figure edges from betting live. And on top of that, A lot of those pregame soft lines or lines that didn't move properly, or maybe ones that had closing line value, whether they won or lost, the sportsbooks can see that you wagered on those and limit your account, again, because of that pattern that they potentially saw from the wagers that you were taking. It isn't to say that you will not get limited from live betting, but there's a chance that you can fall under the radar and have a little bit of a longer leash because those discrepancies aren't available for as long of a period of time and aren't as easy to identify from the sports books.